All right, guys, so obviously those injuries, something to keep an eye on. Obviously, both players think they are going to play, said as much after the game. But the question now is, at what percentage do we see them? What percentage of full strength? How effective will they be? Baldy, I know you know a thing or two about a sprained elbow.
I mean, I think we've all
Sherman.
played injured. Obviously, Richard Sherman said he's not coming out of a championship game. He's not going to play in a Super Bowl game.
Right.
But, you know, Richard Sherman, so much of what he does is basically,
uses the jam, right?
Well, two-hand jam, controlling guys at the line of scrimmage with his hands. He's so good at it. And so if he can't get the jam, if he can't extend the elbow because it's in a bent position, he's not going to be as effective. Now, you know, like Green Bay never went after him and really tested him, which was a real head scratcher.
He said he was surprised that they didn't come after him.
So you would think that New England is with 2 weeks to prepare, knowing it's his left elbow. They're gonna test him in the run game, run at him, and I think they'll test him in the passing game. Whether it's Gronkowski out there, like you're saying, why don't you ever double team him? I mean, if Gronkowski would be out there against him in that situation where he's the left corner, and you're running deep cuts or go routes against him, can he get that left elbow and left arm extended to go make a play?
Yeah, and Nate, how can a receiver, you think, take advantage of a guy who's a little limited there in a corner that's maybe playing with 1.5 wings?
Well, when we get into a game and we know that one of the DBs are banged up, we specifically pinpoint the injury. And I don't want people to think that it's malicious.
Yeah.
But it's just like a boxer. If he's in a match and he gets a cut, you're going to keep punching at that cut. It's the same thing in football. If we know that Richard Sherman has a bad elbow, and I'm a receiver, I'm saying every time you line up against that guy, you go and reach at him, you jab at him, you throw that punch with two hands, and you try to aggravate it as much as you can because you're out there with that weakness. So it's not like you're going at him maliciously. So a receiver is going to have to attack him if they want to try to take down that percentage points. You said, Red, what percentage will they play at? Say he does start at 85%, but if you attack him and wear that down, maybe that elbow's at 60% by the time it gets to the fourth quarter.
Good luck with that. I mean, as I'm saying, Richard Sherman is that good. Keep testing him. You might get him again. He might not be at full strength. Richard Sherman played a good chunk of that second half there with one arm.
Oh, he's tough.
He's as tough.
Think about it, Steve. His first interception, you know, in the first quarter right there, it's two hands reaching for the ball.
It's a reach. I mean, and that's what he does. We'll see how that plays. But, again, I still think this is something where they're not just going to continue to go at him. You even saw it on the play towards the end of the game where he was covering Jordy Nelson. He was playing in the slot. He was following Jordy around a lot right there. He's a gamer. When it comes to Earl Thomas, he's one of the most fearless players. And this is where I'm almost fearful for him because he doesn't care if he has a dislocated shoulder. He's going to
make all his hits with the other shoulder.
He's going to go in, and he's going to make a play. And you talk about a guy who might not be able to reach. I mean, that's part of it. But Earl Thomas, I mean, he came and he played some of this game with that shoulder injury. He is as tough as they come. Both these guys, I can tell you right now, with the mindset, Nate, Baldy, you probably have been there. We got one game left. I've got all offseason to heal.
Tape it up, let's go.
Let's go through it.
But no doubt the injury and their recovery is something we will follow here in the 13 days leading up to Super Bowl 49.